All right. So in this particular chapter, we have already seen various reforms brought up by Sher Shah Suri, in terms of military, in terms of transportations. We can see, he changed lots of administrative reforms. Yes, do you remember? And let's have an introduction. Like, who was Sher Shah Suri? He was the one because of whom Humayun had a gap during his ruling period, right? It was until Sher Shah Suri was there, Humayun could not, plan to his comeback. But as soon as he came to know that Sher Shah Suri is already died, then he, took this as an opportunity and he came back, to take over his position once again. So this shows how powerful Sher Shah Suri was, and the timing when Sher Shah Suri was ruling. At that time, whatever administrative, military reforms and transportation reforms he had brought up, that was, followed by most of the other rulers also. Yes, do you all remember? We had discussed this in the previous classes. I'll just brief.
Ma'am.
Because we had a gap of examinations. All right. Now, today we are going to study about the land revenue reforms. All right. So now land revenue reforms means what, children? The various sources through which, they could get revenue. All right. The main sources of collecting land revenue were what? First of all, the land revenue itself, collecting taxes through lands. Next is unclaimed properties. Okay, there were properties which were unclaimed. That means which did not belong to anyone. So through that also they were able to, generate income. Next is trade tax. Fourth, salt tax, and fifth is khams. What does khams means? Khams means 1/5 of the looted property during the wars. So whenever they had wars, if at all they, they won the war, so what they used to do, they used to take up the properties. All right, whatever they could, they were achieve, they would gather that and keep it with them. So whatever property or whatever looted property they would have collected from these wars, that 1/5 of that part was considered as land revenues. All right. So these different sources of income generation. Sher Shah
Yes.
introduced a striking and excellent land revenue system. It was used through the years that followed and is considered the best because of the various measures it implemented. So whatever reforms, whatever new things which was brought up by Sher Shah was followed or was utilized even years ago. Why? Because even the other rulers felt that okay, this actually was correct. Whatever reforms was brought by him. So let us see why other rulers were also following those reforms. They did not bring change. They followed the same one. First, number one is land was assessed and measured every year. So these are all the positive points. Okay, that for collecting land revenue, you would assess the land. Okay, assess the land means measuring the land every year. So the land gets
Yes,
measured
ma'am.
automatically they were able to decide the revenue based upon the measured land. Next is land was classified into 3 categories. Number one, fertility land, which was considered as good, on the basis of
And
the
farming land.
they used to they divided into 3 categories. The most fertile land considered as good, the one which was medium fertile, it was considered as medium, and the one which was bad, infertility, so that particular land was called as bad. All right, so on the basis of fertility the land was also divided. Land revenue was fixed at 1/3 of the produced. So whatever the production was there, okay, how much would be the land revenue collected based upon that production?
1/3.
Very good. 1/3 of the land would be considered as the land revenue. This could be paid in cash or in kind as grain share. So they had two options of paying land revenue. Either it could be paid through cash or it could be paid through grains. You know, earlier they had a barter, the system which is called as barter system, where they used to exchange the commodities. There were no money at that time, so they would exchange the commodities. This, while collection of taxes was to be strict, land assessment was meant to be lenient and aware of natural calamities like drought, flood, crop damage during wars. Okay, so he was very strict. He made two things, you know, balance. To balance things, what did he do? He made collection of taxes very strict. He was very strict in that particular terms. But when it came to, you know, assessing, measuring the land, he was a little bit lenient. Why? Because he considered the fact, you know, that natural calamities could occur. There could be floods, there could be droughts, there could be war times. So on one hand it was, he was lenient, on the other hand he was very strict, just to balance the community. Mutual understanding was introduced with patta and kubuliyat. Please underline these two words, okay? Mutual understanding is, you know, nowadays we have MOU, that means Memorandum of Understanding. Here we have documentations, but at that time, what they had? They had the terms called as patta and kubuliyat. What was patta? Patta was a written document which mentioned the amount of rate of revenue demand. Okay, so the amount of rate of the revenue was called as patta. Clear? Understood? What does patta mean, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, kubuliyat, the word kubuliyat itself is telling you the meaning. What does kubul mean?
To take.
Accept.
Accept. Very good. Accept. Okay, so let's understand what does kubuliyat over here means. It is another written document which was issued by the peasants accepting the obligation upon them which was mutually decided. Kubuliyat nama, what does that mean? It is a written document where the peasants, the farmers accept all the terms and conditions and obligations which were mutually decided with the farmers and with the authority. Okay? Clear? Have you all understood till your children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's go on to the next page. Oh, we have a quiz here. Would you all like to do the quiz?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay,
there is
we'll
no
do this.
quiz.
We'll do this and then we'll come back with the question answers. Next topic is architecture and literature. Now see, if you will you know, closely see in this particular chapter, it has all about Sher Shah Suri, you know, in different fields and in different departments, what changes and what reforms were brought by him. So now earlier we had seen the reforms brought by him in military, the reforms brought by him in administrative system, in transportation system. Then we saw the reforms brought by him in land revenue system. Now we will see what reforms did Sher Shah Suri bring in architecture and literature. Okay, Sher Shah was a great patron of architecture and built a number of monuments that have stood the test of time. He built, underline this is very important. What structures did he build? He built the Rohtas Ghar Fort and Purana Killa, that is old fort at Delhi. Okay, so these are the list. You might get these, you know, names in an objective type questions. Okay, for example, Purana Killa was built by whom?
Sher Shah.
Sher Shah Suri. Okay. Apart from that, he also built his own tomb at Sasaram in Bihar. Please underline this. This is important. Children, am I audible to you all now?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the school's connectivity got disconnect, right? I got disconnected since I'm in school. All right. So I hope till when you heard me explaining? Yes.
Sasaram in Bihar.
Okay, fine, good. All right. His architecture was a beautiful combination of Hindu and Muslim styles, becoming excellent specimens of Indo-Islamic architecture. So please underline this. Whatever architecture he built, it had a combination of both Hindus as well as the Muslims. What does this, tell us about Sher Shah Suri's thought process? Any guesses?
Ma'am, he treated Hindus and Muslims equally.
True, very good, very good. He treated Hindus and Muslims equally, and that's the reason whatever architecture he built up, it had the combination of both the styles. Okay, he did not give preference to any one specific community. All right, have you all understood the till your children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, now estimate. Let us see what Sher Shah Suri rose to humble beginnings to become the emperor based on his military skills, his merit, and his wisdom. So he was a very powerful leader, as well as he had what? Good military skills. He was wise enough, and he had lots of merits during his ruling period. Please underline this. I think I'm audible. Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. He established the Sur Empire, which stretched from Bengal to the Indus and included all the Rajputana states. So his territory, we are talking about his territory during his rule. He extended his territories from where? From
Bengal to the Indus, which included the Raj
very good, very good,
states.
very good. Was that Nilab answering?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, Nila. Very nice. Keep it up. Next is he introduced a sound and efficient administrative system, which was continued by the later rulers and the dynasty as well. So here we again get whatever administrative system was reforms in the changes in the administrative system was brought up by Sher Shah Suri. It was followed and it was continued by other dynasties also after him. This shows that even the other dynasties agreed to whatever changes Sher Shah Suri had brought. Clear? Next, as a military leader, his standing army was alert, disciplined, and well organized. So he had a standing army which was alert, which was very disciplined, and it was well organized also. He worked for the welfare of the people, and this is evident in his laying of roads and setting up of the sarais and the dark chowkis. Okay, please underline. You remember sarais we had studied in the previous class? What does sarais mean, children?
Ma'am, the setting up of tents and
Where?
ma'am, near when they
Near the roads.
Okay, okay, very good. So the fact that he built up sarais for the common people who are traveling, so that they can rest, they can have their food. This shows that he was, interested in the welfare of his people also, right? He took care of his people in his territories. His land revenue policy was humane and caring towards the peasants. This policy was later adopted by Akbar also. So, whatever land revenue policies he had introduced, it was caring towards the peasants, right? And therefore, Akbar also used those policies. How do we come to know it was caring? We just studied about the land revenue policies. Can one person tell me? How do we come to know that he was caring towards the peasants?
Ma'am, the size of the land, he checked it leniently, but the land revenue which was collected was taken.
strictly. Very good. So he did not just impose rules on the peasants. On one hand, just to make sure that even the peasants are happy. On one hand, if he is introducing a strict rule, on the other hand, he was lenient also. All right. And one more fact, that they had the documentation signed, right? So that, even the peasants are assured that whatever was decided will be followed by both the parties, right? Which were the documents mentioned in the land revenue, what they used to sign? Who will tell me? Which were the two documents we just studied? Number one, any guesses? Qubuliyat? All right.
One was patta.
Patta.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Good. Keep it up. Next is, he adopted a policy of religious neutrality in a bid to make the Hindus feel a part of the empire, which in turn increased his following. So he was a neutral person, neutral leader. He never gave specific importance to one particular community. He treated both the communities neutrally on equal basis, and that's the reason what had happened. Most of his followers increased because even the Hindus liked his policy. Now, how do we come to know that he was equal? He treated equally to Hindus and Muslims. How do we get this? Who will tell me? What did he do?
Sher Shah
And the architecture was a combination of
Implement-
Hindu and
One at a time. Yes,
Ma'am,
Mishti.
the
Muslim style.
Yes, Mishti. Am I audible?
Ma'am, you are audible. Mishti is not.
Okay, yes. Any who was answering along with Mishti? Simran and
Ma'am,
Pradyumna.
the architecture was a combination of Hindu and Muslim.
Yes. That itself shows that he treated both the communities equally. Very good, Simran. Very nice. Keep it up. Next.
he adopted a policy religions neutrally in a bid to making the Hindus feel a part of the empire, which in turn increases his following.
Yes. Can we go on to the next page, please? Oh, here we have a quiz. Would you all like to do the quiz, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's see. So this is not a CYP, so you all can give chorus answers. Sher Shah, number one, question one is, Sher Shah built the Rohtasgarh Fort and Purana Killa at dash. Number one,
Delhi.
Kanpur. Number two, Delhi. And number three, Bihar. What's the answer?
Delhi.
Delhi. Let's freeze Delhi and see if they're right. Very good. Very good. Keep it up. Next. Let me read the options, then you all give the answers. Okay, children? Where is the tomb of Sher Shah Suri built? Number one, Rohtasgarh. Number two, Sasaram. Number three, Purana Killa. Let's freeze Sasaram and check if y'all are right. Very good. That means you all had understood the content. Very nice. Let's go on to the next question. Sher Shah Suri established dash empire. This is very easy.
Suri Empire. Sir Empire.
Very nice. Very good. Keep it up. Next. Sher Shah worked for the dash of the people.
welfare.
Welfare. Very good. Let's type welfare over there. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's type welfare and submit the answer. Very nice. Keep it up. Last question, that is, land revenue policy was later adopted by number one, Humayun, number two, Islam Shah, number three, Adil Shah, and number four, Akbar.
Ma'am, Akbar.
Akbar.
Very good. Akbar. So this shows that you all have understood the content. Let's stop here for today.